So one more to go. I hope couple of after this, but this is for sure the one I've been waiting for because I am here with Miko Matsumura, Forever Going, a guy that I am a big fan of. So you have Kryptogranny as a fan. Please introduce yourself to our Finnish audience. Who are you and what do you do?
My name is Miko Matsumura. It's a proper Finnish name. And I'm actually co-founder of an exchange called Evercoin. It's a wallet and non-custodial exchange. I'm also a general partner with an investment fund called Gumi Cryptos, which is a $30 million early stage cryptographic asset-based investment fund, venture capital.
Yes, and I do know that you are traveling the globe constantly because you are very wanted and liked a speaker as well as an investor. So we have you here also in Malta. And we met actually for the first time last year during one of the summits here. And you are one of the reasons why Kryptogranny exists, because we had this nice conversation talking about what should be done or what could be done differently. So we would get more and more mainstream along and maybe the speakers to speak in a more down-to-earth way so people would actually understand what you are about to speak. Like now you are mic'd already and will be telling about the debunking the myths and fallacies of blockchain. But tell me, what do you think? What could be done, or maybe what will Evercoin change so more and more people who are not with us today would join and would find the curiosity and interest to be part of the cryptos and blockchain obviously as well?
I think the thing that has amazingly shifted is really about the concept of custody, which is really about the control of assets. So what's been created with Bitcoin and all of its children is really a digital asset that you can own, that you can have possession of. So in that sense, it's like a digital form of cash, right? That you can put your hands on, right? So the thing that I think really is needed in terms of getting more people involved, I think are multiple things. One of them, of course, is incentive, right? But one of the things that's known is that it's known that these cryptographic assets actually have interesting properties with respect to changing value, and so they become interesting targets for people to invest or to speculate, and I think that's a attraction. But I think the thing that's also becoming a more important topic is kind of usage, right? So I think that we really need to deliver a better user experience and more places where you can use and more ways to use this cryptocurrency.
Correct. And obviously one of the big things, if you wish, are the headlines and the rumors around Bitcoin, but also other children of it, as you very nicely put it. So my personal experience, or when I got involved with and interested in blockchain and cryptos, was to download a wallet and see for myself, how does this work? What does it mean? So is there something special or specific in Evercoin? You may be trying to do it in a ways that the user experience, like you said, would be even more easier to understand and adapt, or what is your plan?
I think that really, we opt for what's called mobile first. So we have a very kind of a mobile phone centric way of looking at this experience. And then we also really want to preserve as much of this kind of feeling of digital ownership and custody that we provide. So in a sense, like functionally, we end up looking like a Coinbase, which is a very popular service. We do have things like fiat to crypto, which is sort of like regular currencies like US dollars. And then, of course, we really try to provide all of those capabilities in an easy to use package. So I think from the perspective of what we're trying to achieve is we really do want kind of consumer grade ease of use. We really want people to feel comfortable.
Yes, and which coins have you listed, or is there a strategy that you have, which ones you will have in your exchange, or anything about that?
At the moment, we're really focused on like very big top coins. We don't want to get very kind of crazy or speculative. So, we're really focused just on the very big, the biggest of the big, because we really don't want too many we want to keep the choices for our customers fairly simple, and we just want to give them a nice experience.
Absolutely, and that is so needed because there's so many even friends of mine who are really hesitant in this. Even that I try to tell them, and just try with the small sum so you kind of understand what we're talking about. But obviously, the other side is the use cases. So how do you see what would be the first easy to adopt or easy to relate to as experimenting the crypto transactions, etc., as in a user case? What could that be? What would that be? What do you think?
I think the easiest case that we'll probably start to see the most of is really peer-to-peer electronic cash. So I think that it really goes back to the original Bitcoin white paper, because when you really start to think about it, what's going to happen is the messengers will start to come into crypto. So whether it's Facebook Messenger with 2.5 billion monthly active users, or Telegram, or in Korea it's Kakao, or in Japan it's Line, there's Signal, there's all these different messengers, Kick Messenger, they're all actually moving into this cryptographic asset space. So I think what happens is you see a convergence of what used to be called messengers, and then now you see payment, right? And then you start to see things like wallets, cryptographic wallets, and you start to see exchanges, and you start to see even like app stores and games. So you start to see all of these things converging into a single platform for these uses.
Yes, and then when there is someone like myself, a Kryptogranny from Finland that doesn't do any gaming and doesn't have any friends abroad that I would want to pay something to. So what do you think would be the simple thing from today, like buying a coffee, or a very conventional form of paying something to someone in cryptos that would probably take first, let's say, the marketplace number one space as first?
I think that it will be things like point of sale. There will be things like transportation, so these I think will be kind of the key easy applications, right? Because if you look in some place like China, you're going to see things like WeChat Pay, or you're going to see Alipay, and they're all mobile phone payment systems. And in a way, it's as simple as like waving your phone at something and then it's paid for, So I think in a way, it's even easier than like a paper cash system. It's actually just waving your phone. So I think that will be the next step.
Absolutely, and that is something that I don't recall actually someone has been pointing out as the first, because everyone talks like, where can I start buying my coffee with cryptos? So I think actually the transport perspective is very good, and that will not force, but make us really want to be part of that and understand because of the ease, hopefully. But what does Miko Matsumura look for in the future? What is your dream or your desire to see as the next big thing on this path that we are all on?
Yeah, I'm very excited about the emergence of the messengers, because I feel like that will drive users and usage, right? So if you think about Facebook with 2.5 billion users every month, and bringing those users to simple applications like payment or cross-border remittance, where people are sending money back home, and these kind of applications, it becomes instantly clear that you can do so much more cheaply, right? And when you really think about the ease of use of a messenger, it's actually much more easy, right? Because today what they're doing is they're going to Western Union, they're going to these stores, and they're filling out paperwork, and they're presenting ID, and Facebook is really just a message to your mom, and then here's the money, so that becomes like a really smooth experience. So I think the messengers I'm excited about, because I think that's the harbinger of like mass adoption, because the numbers are just like cosmologically large numbers.
That is true, and obviously, as they say that the millennials, they are all going to Instagram, so it's us and my generation that will remain in the Facebook and start using, hopefully, the future cryptos and the new way of payments and interacting in general.
Well, and I think this, right? I think that, we've watched the evolution of the traditional internet, and we've watched things like email, which is sort of a way of sending letters across the internet. And like now this is really just a way of sending money. So, you know, about 10 years ago, the internet started printing its own money, which was Bitcoin. And these are just kind of the evolution of the natural way of things. Like, for example, like I live in the United States, and if I took my United States paper money to Canada and I started trying to spend it, I would get really strange looks and it wouldn't work, right? So the idea of like, you know, this geographic money, I think is going to be looked at as silly by the next generation. I think people say, why was that? Why did you do that? That makes no sense, right?
That is so correct. And that is exactly the issues, obviously, that we hope to get solved with the new technology as it comes. And just now, again, once more, listening to you, this is the way I really, really would like to see so many other actors within the field to speak as well, because I always feel very relaxed talking to you because I actually understand everything you are saying.
Oh, thank you very much. I think that's very important. It's important to be clear and to communicate well, I think.
Thank you. And I know you're extremely busy. You are so wanted person to meet, to interview and talk to. So I'm extremely honored and thankful that you found the time to come and speak with me so we can get your message forward back to Finland and home and elsewhere as well. So thank you so much, Miko, and all the best.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.